only way you defeat this is you have to be disagreeable. And this is the issue, is that some women, and they feel as if they have to be agreeable with whatever the latest phenomenon is, and you must be sympathetic with people's feelings. You have to be disagreeable. You cannot agree with biological confusion, insanity, or for the erasure of womanhood, which is really what we're looking at here. Right. But I mean, I want to just emphasize this for a second and just ask a question. The Democrats, they act as if they have a monopoly on the female vote, all because of one issue. The abortion issue. I'm pro-life. A lot of people in the audience are. That's not what we're talking about today. However, there's a more fundamental issue with womanhood, is that they can't even tell you what a woman is, and it is the erasure of woman identity. Are you getting any sympathy from the feminists in the Democrat Party? I mean, these old, feminists like Nancy Pelosi, who was like part of the third wave feminism movement. Are any other females on the Democrat side being sympathetic with your cause?
On the Hill, no. And when I started sharing some of the death threats I've received this week, they just doubled down, and they're silent. I mean, there are men dressed as women literally out there threatening to kill me because I don't want a man watching me undress. And these women are cowards. The Democrats, these far left women up here on the Hill, some of my colleagues who are doubling down on their rhetoric and abusing women and wanting to erase women. This is a hostile work environment. It's abusive. And I'm just going to stand in the brink. I'm going to stand in their way. I will solidly stand in their way. And the only way you can handle a bully on this and just about any other issue is by punching them back in the face. And I'm just, I'm going to be bold about it. I don't care if I hurt their feelings. I'm about facts over feelings, because this is the fight now. But what are they going to do down the road? It's a slippery slope, and we have to protect our daughters. We have to protect biology, protect civilization in a culture that respects women and respects men. And this ain't it. And this is a fight that I'm willing to die on the Hill for. And this is one of the reasons that Kamala didn't win as many women voters as Biden did 4 years ago. Women's issues were on the ballot, but it's not just about abortion, as you said. There are a lot of suburban women out there that aren't okay with Johnny and his willy-nilly being in the locker room with his girl. It's sick. It's twisted. I've heard from a lot of lesbians this week. They're like, we don't want this. This is not okay. It's not safe. I don't feel safe. And we're not in on the trans movement.
Well, I want to get in on that really quick. We only have a minute remaining. Again, I'm a believer in traditional marriage. And again, that's not what we're here. But however, can you please make a distinction that this is a completely different issue than lesbian or gay? Can you please just emphasize that? I think it's incredibly important.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I've heard from gays and lesbians, who have a same-sex partner, but they're not down with other, like, men being in women's spaces or men being in women's spaces. The trans movement is a totally different thing. The gays and lesbians I've talked to feel like the trans have hijacked what they feel their rights should be. Should the government be telling people who to love? I mean, that's a freedom thing, freedom issue. But when you're changing your gender, when you're forcing your penis into women's private spaces, they're not okay. And they feel just as violated. And it's so interesting to me that I'm getting a lot of support from those communities, because they are not down with the TQ because they say it's a mental health issue. And it jeopardizes the safety of women. And so that's a really important distinction. And I'm glad that I'm hearing from these folks. I think it's really important for them to chime in as well, make that distinction and show people that this is not okay for a lot of people, Democrats, independents, and Republicans. It's also a winning issue for us. And we're not going to stop at the Hill. I've had women write in and say, why just stop at the Capitol? We need this everywhere. And so I'm doing it.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thank you so much.